Welcome to DD Garden TV. In this video, we will give some tricks about watermelon treatments. We will not tell you about some of the practices we need to do during planting, so we shoot another video. What are the cultural practices you can do during the development periods? Let's look at them. In order to have a good watermelon harvest, the fertilizers you apply are very important. In the period before flowering, in order for it to expel leaves and twigs, nitrogen should be given more, phosphorus and potassium should be given in smaller quantities. However, the fertilizer work we will do after flowering is the period when nitrogen should be given less. After this stage, since the fertilization you will do will be completely fruit-oriented, you can make a balance as follows. Fertilizer, which you can set in the form of 2 units of phosphorus, 2 units of potassium and 1 unit of nitrogen. By giving it every 15 days, you can fertilize your watermelons very well until harvest. The issue where we have the most problems with watermelon is irrigation. What is known is that watermelons, and especially melons, will be grown without water, but if our climate is not suitable for this, do not try to grow them without water. For irrigation, you can apply 2 separate methods. In the first method, there are 3 periods in which the watermelon needs the most water. One of them is the period of development of the plant, one is the period of flowering, and one is the period of fruit formation. During these 3 periods, you can give a little water once a week. You need to balance the irrigation so that the soil will be moist, but you can water less and less, so that there is not much ponding or puddling. In this method, don't lose sight of. After the female flower is fertilized, it means that she has come to harvest after an average of 30 days. It is necessary to stop watering 15 days before harvesting. After fertilization, you can give water twice, with an interval of 1 week. If you do not cut off the juice after that, then you have a high chance of getting flavorless fruit. In the second method, you can also apply the following. When you plant your seedling at the very beginning, you are given plenty of live water. A day later watering is done again. Until the flowers bloom, watering is not carried out. When the arms reach around 1 meter, you irrigate twice a week, depending on the situation, 3 times depending on the climate. After the fruits begin to form, you stop watering. After excessive watering and excess rainfall, we see that the watermelons crack. Watermelon is 95% water. When you overintroduce water into the fruit, it will begin to overdevelop, but the outer shell will have to crack, as it will not keep up with this overdevelopment. Also, after heavy rainfall or watering, the shell will harden to adjust the internal pressure. When the soil dries, after this circuit again a lot of water is introduced, the hardened shell will have to crack. Water the watermelons regularly, and after a lot of rain, water for a longer time. Necessarily supplement with calcium fertilizers. Your watermelon will not crack due to possible watering errors. Pruning on watermelon is not a must, but I can say that if you do, you will get much better quality fruit. Be sure to pluck the fruits that are close to the root, especially fertilized. Because fruits that are close to the root do not give very high quality watermelons. Try to grow the berries, which are more often formed on the arms. These are much better quality, very tasty watermelons. Watermelon, like melon, is not a fruit that continues to ripen after plucking. Therefore, you need to determine the time of harvest very well. There are certain criteria for harvesting. You can understand this by hitting the watermelon classically, from its sound. According to the variety, you can understand that the contrast of the lines above it is low. If the place where it touches the soil has changed from white to creamy or even yellow, it means that it is watermelon. There is also a method that manufacturers usually know, but almost not everyone knows. From the point where the fruit is attached to the branch, after an inch or 2 there is a leaf. We call it an ear. When this leaf, which we call ear, dries, we understand that the watermelon has reached harvest maturity. We need bees for the fertilization of watermelon. In gardens where there is not much bee activity, apply this method. Collect a lot of it. You can do the manual fertilization method, which I described in the video. See you in another videos. We wish everyone beautiful gardens.